What's up everybody, Joshua Casper back at you with Plugin Boutique, and today we're checking out the newest synth on our website. It's called Zone, it's by Audiaire, and it's an advanced parameter sequencer synthesizer. And I'm going to talk a little bit about what that means. We're going to run through the GUI in a second here, but before we do that, I just want to jump in and play some of these presets for you so you can get a good idea of what Zone is capable of. So the preset that you heard in the beginning of the video is super dope, and it's actually all from one instance of Zone. So that gives you a pretty good indication of where we're going here. So let's just flip through some of these. If I click right here, we can actually see the preset browser, and there are a ton of presets inside of here, guys. But I'm just gonna stay inside of the best of folder, and we'll just run through a few of them. Inside of the best of, there's like 116, and I don't wanna take up too much of your time, but let's just check out a few. So that's actually a really, really dope percussion rhythm. Some more industrial house type stuff. Really nice pads. More bass. So that just gives you a very brief intro to what Zone is capable of. I'm not going to spend too much time on presets here because I want to talk about the synth and what it has to offer and how powerful it is with those features. So as I said in the beginning, this is an advanced parameter sequencer synthesizer. And the reason why it's called that is because of this feature down here at the bottom. You can see we've got a 32-step sequencer down here. And the coolest thing about this is you have infinite lanes to add parameters to their own sequencer down here. So if maybe I want to adjust the tuning of oscillator 1 in its own lane, I just got to click that and drag. And now the tuning of oscillator 1 is on this own lane down here. And for any of these, if I just click right here, I'll get a better view of it. I can right click and make my own sort of slopes, or I can individually come into steps and change them this way. I can turn steps off by clicking them. If I come back out, I can turn all of the steps off in one by using this up here at the top. If I click right here, we've got a number of other options of ways to manipulate this. So if I want to increase all the values by 70%, you can see that that boosted that all right up. There's also preset forms and just a ton of control. There's also a randomize button over here. Randomize all the parameters. If I control click any of these, I'm randomizing the parameters. If I alt click, it's going to set everything to 0. Let's see what this sounds like. So just hitting the random button, we're going to get some really drastically different results. And I'm obviously just really glossing over things here very quickly, but maybe I'll be able to do a few specific tutorials in the future. And obviously, if you have any questions at all, just leave them in the comments. I always read the comments here on YouTube, so maybe I'll be able to help you out down there as well. There are also sequencer presets up here, for example. If I come into noise riser, so the really cool thing about Zone is you can make risers insanely easily and insanely just insane because of the step sequencer down here. So that's already pretty dope. And the default kind of step sequence is this riser. So if I maybe want to take, the cutoff, it's already mapped. But if I take the tuning of both of these and drop it down here, we can expect even more riser material. And not only that, but you can use the macros in here as well. And you can assign anything to a macro. If the macro has an orange ball, that means something's assigned. If you right click, you can see, or you can attach things this way. You can also just drag and drop, the same as the lane editor over here. If you go to detach, you can see what's been assigned, and you can detach one at a time or detach all. If I detach all here, you'll see that that orange ball has gone away. Let's check out another preset. All right, so let's just briefly go through the other panels inside of Zone. So we've got the preset manager here. We got the main bar up here at the top. We have the sequencer options over here. So we can go parameter. You can see that we're just getting whatever parameters have been assigned down here. If I come to note, we'll see that we have options for pitch, velocity, and gate. And if I come to parameter and note, I'm going to see everything. So at the heart of Zone are two oscillators. They are driven by single cycle waveforms. You get over 150 of them packaged inside of the default shipment of Zone. And of course, you can import your own. So to do that, you just click here and you'll see your different categories. And if you want to come into user, another cool thing is that Zone has a number of shortcuts. Like if I control click here, I'll get a random waveform, which can give some really interesting results. And if I alt click, I'll go back to a sine wave every time. We've got our mix level, tuning, fine tuning, shape, amount. We've got an amp envelope up here with the ADSR. We've got a modulation envelope up here again with ADSR. So you just got to click between the two here. Down here under that, we have a sub and noise oscillator. Both can be turned on or off. The sub can go -1 or -2 octaves. You have a number of different wave shapes here as well, 5 of them. Noise, we've got a number of different noises here as well, and we can turn that off or on. We have a level and color control over here. Moving on over here, we've got our filter, a filter envelope with ADSR. We've got a number of unique filter types like circuit bends, really, really cool. The manual will give you more information about what these are. And once you've chosen a filter type, the secondary menu over here will change. So you can see circuit bend doesn't have a secondary menu, for example. Here we can go up to 48 dB slope and so on and so forth. Let's jump down to modulation. We have 8 different modulators. You can see we have 4 here, but if I click this arrow, we'll get the second set of 4. All you need to do is come over to 5, for example, choose your source, LFO1, we got 2 LFOs. The designation, let's say filter cutoff, for example. And again, just like the macros I was talking about before, when the modulator has something routed, you'll see an orange dot right here. That's going to help you stay visually engaged and know what's going on, what's activated and what's modulating something before even having to press each one of these tabs. We've already covered the macros down here. Over here we have 4 different effects inserts, and there are 24, I believe, different effects that you can choose from, a number of different phasers, for example. A number of different delays, small reverb, large reverb, stereo width, and so on. And when you choose something, if I come in here to, let's say, reverb large, it will give us a readout right here. We can see the title of whatever it is on the top here. So it's a little bit different than having the ball activated. We'll actually be able to see what type of effect before we jump into the effects panel itself. As I'm clicking through here, you'll see that the parameters down here are changing. Then we have a 3-band EQ right here, a master pan, and a master out. It's kind of crazy that that's just one instance of zone making that complex sound right there. So that's like a gated riser. I was telling you risers are super easy. So if I take like macro, put that here, macro 1, put that here. We could take the tuning of oscillator 1, the tuning of oscillator 2. Things get super crazy. So the reason why things can get really complex is because each lane in the sequencer can have its own speed, it can have its own length. You can see here, if I click right here this one time, I can choose a different speed for that particular lane. Now look how slow it's going. And that's up to 128 bars, dude. So that's a long time. Look how slow, it's not even moving. So I mean, you can make probably a whole track, beginning, middle, and end inside of the step sequencer once you've got your main sound sources and you want to do a little bit of tweaking. Super dope. So anyway, that's a very quick and brief look at Zone by Audiaire. As I said, we've just launched it on Plugin Boutique. Obviously, click the link in the video description if you want to check it out. I'm Joshua Casper. I hope you learned something, and I'll see you in the next video.